the fuck? Okay. Megan, what are you wearing? You think you're Kerry Washington?
I was inspired by the fashionista of the movie Kerry Washington to throw together a little outfit. She loves a hat. I have to say, the fact that I have headphones on under this is crazy. Like, you can't even see them. I've got my beret. I've got my fur coat, which will not last. And then when I do take it off, I don't know if I'm going more Sarah, because it is like, it gives me more of a vibe of something Sarah would wear. I think that Chanel would have worn this if she had like a matching skirt with, like, I think it needs to be a little more of a pop. But I did just recently thrift this for my Halloween costume for look 2 that I didn't end up ever taking pictures of or filming. But it does fit with the same time period. So I just wanted to dress the part.
Did you learn the dance?
No, so I want you to know that I told Mats that I told you that I was going to learn the dance. And Mats, in all sincerity, goes, that dance is really hard. And I was like, and he was like, you think, he's like, this feels like the same thing of like when women were talking to their like boyfriends or guys that they knew of being like, do you wish you were better at sports? He was like, there's no way you could do this dance. Are you athletic? And I was like, okay, I can't believe that he was like, do people think this dance isn't hard? And I was like, okay,
I would be so offended. In case you don't know, we are doing Save the Last Dance on this episode of But Am I Watching, which is a film and TV review show podcast. And so, not only is this dance not hard, it also has been mocked. I feel like you've probably seen the dance before.
Yes. It was recently mocked on SNL. And Julia Stiles did a cameo.
Oh, I'm behind on SNL, but okay. I would, because you took years of dance.
That's what I was saying to Mons. I was like,
and
okay.
I'm so offended on your behalf.
Because I told him, I was like, okay, if you want to get technical, like, sure, maybe like I would not. I don't even think she did like more than 2 pirouettes in a row. Would my pirouettes be like peak form? No, but also like, are hers? Also no. So I was just like, on like, there's just, and he was like, what about the flexibility stuff? And I was like, okay, her attitude is like, you know, she put the work in. She did. And like, I'll give Julia Stiles has rhythm. She has rhythm.
I'd say it's half a beat off.
Yeah, I didn't say that it was perfect rhythm. I said she has some rhythm. But like, when Mott said that to me, I was like, hold up. I need to take him to Hollywood Boulevard to watch the breakdancers. That man is going to be absolutely, I'm like, if you think this is good dancing, when we show you actually good, your mind is going to be blown. Like,
This man went to college in Atlanta.
I know. I think that maybe you will hear my through line through this movie is I didn't know that I'm actually getting married to the biggest fan of this movie. So I also, by the time that the dance came up, I had already like made some jokes that he like paused the movie being like, can you stop? And I was like, I'm so sorry. I actually didn't know that like you love this movie so much that I can't poke fun. I do think part of it was like he was being mean-spirited because I think his feelings were hurt because I kept talking about like, I kept like gently making fun of this movie. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm the one who put this movie on for work. I didn't know that this was an untouchable movie. Because like we have those. That's fine.
Yes. And so this also makes more sense to me. Last week when we said we were going to watch this and he had said something to you of like, you haven't seen this movie before. And he was low-key offended that you hadn't seen it.
Yes. It does start to check out. Yeah. So this, I have to say, of all of the movies we've watched for the podcast so far, even including our original iteration of But Am I Watching, this was the most, this was the biggest fan of Matz's of anything that I was, and I had no idea going into it. Like, I had no clue. Also because he prefaced this with being like, Are you really watching that? Like, I don't know how much you're going to like this. And then as it's happening, I'm like, I love this. This is great. It's wonderful. No. Turns out he was worried that I wasn't going to like it as much as him, and it was going to hurt his feelings. And
You were
it
going to
did.
ruin it for him.
I was dying. I literally had to, because like we have a thing of like there are movies that are untouchable that we talk about where it's like, this is something that I love so much. You cannot make fun of it, even if it's in good fun, even if it is bad. But like this holds a special place in my heart. So like no jokes. And like, that's fine. Like we can pull that card at any time. But like, we're halfway through the movie and he's like, can you just suspend disbelief and like drop it? And I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Is this an untouchable movie that you did not tell me about? Like, I had no idea your passion for this movie. He loves this movie. So while I love it and I'm going to give it a great review, just know it's still not going to be good enough. I'm not going to be loving it enough for Moss.
So Save the Last Dance is a movie that I watched a lot during my childhood. I think it came out when I was in junior high school in 2001. It follows Sarah Johnson, played by Julia Stiles, a talented, quote unquote, ballet dancer who dreams of attending Juilliard. Her world is shattered when her mother dies in a car accident on the way to Sarah's audition. Devastated, Sarah gives up ballet and moves to Chicago's South Side, which I was confused about because I was like, I know that Kerry Washington is from New York, but it was a strong choice to go full New York with this accent.
Yeah, I have to say, there was a lot of those high schoolers that I said, did anyone have a conversation with each other about where we are? Geographically, I was a little bit confused with the pronunciations.
Yes. Devastated, Sarah gives up ballet, moves to Chicago's South Side to live with her estranged father, Roy, a jazz musician. And so now she's at a predominantly Black high school. Sarah feels out of place until she befriends Chanel, played by Kerry Washington, which is her first breakthrough role, and her brother Derek Reynolds, played by Sean Patrick Thomas. Shout out to his wife, who's a mutual of mine. A smart, ambitious student with dreams of becoming a doctor, Derek introduces Sarah to the world of hip-hop, and she rediscovers her passion for dance by blending classical ballet with hip-hop style. And that's the film.
I have to say, right off the bat, when I see MTV movies, I'm like, say less, I'm here.
The music, because you know the music is going to be fire.
And it was.
There's no doubt. We had OG Blackpink, which was the titular song of the film, which I forgot how much I love You Make Me Sick. Great song.
Mats was singing along to every song, being like, this soundtrack is so good. And I was like, this is impeccable. And like, right off the bat, like, and this is kind of like an overarching like note, the dance, without a doubt, is silly, but like that's like the only silly thing about this movie. Like this movie is like a very good fucking like film. Like it's shot beautifully. Like everything about it is like really well done. It's like phenomenally acted for like I would say like 99% of the movies, like phenomenally acted, and it's 100% phenomenally acted by everyone who's on camera for more than like 0.2 seconds.
Yes.
But like it's just like the coloring of it, like it's like a real it's a real movie. And
it's a great movie.
Yeah, and so imagine my surprise as I'm watching this fantastic movie, just knowing that I know that the dance happens at the end because it is her Juilliard audition, and I'm going like, so are we gonna get a little more silly? Or is it just gonna be like out of left field, and then it's actually not that funny, which it was. But I love the setting of it, the fact that like you can tell this is like MTV movie production budget, like they're shooting in the snow, like that's not a thing that you normally do. And I'm like, this is just like, it was just so great. But from the start, when she talks about how she used to dance, and we see the first instance of her in a studio, I immediately go, oh, mom's dying in a car crash. I know it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I forgot that is how. I have not seen this movie in 20 years.
Yeah.
I forgot that is how the movie starts. I forgot why she ends up in Chicago. But when her mom came on screen, I was like, oh, yeah, that's right.
R.I.P. that lady.
But, like, the fact that we saw the mom in the car, bloodied and upside down,
crazy,
really sets up what this movie is about. I want to give hats off to Thomas Carter, who's the director, and he's a Black man. The writers are Dwayne Adler and Cheryl Edwards. Dwayne is a white man. So Cheryl came in and blacked it up for him. But he has a lot of those dance movies from the 2000s. He is behind them.
Oh, I wonder if he's behind the ones I love.
We can talk about that later. But yes, you said the mom is dying.
Yeah, so I knew that was going to happen. But my first initial question, and this maybe will not get cleared up, was she supposed to be at a dance high school? Because it was like, you're the best dancer here.
Mm-hmm.
That's a dance school that she was at.
It's a performing high school. Uh-huh.
Okay, that made
performing arts high school.
A little bit more sense why she had said that. And I was immediately, though, shocked when I saw her bun she had some intentional pieces down in her bun. And I said, you can't do that. She had flyaways, which it's pre-dance. So I'm not expecting to see flyaways for an audition. But then fundamentally, my biggest thesis of this is, I'm so sorry, Sarah, you actually don't have what it takes to go to Juilliard, point blank, specifically because you have this newfangled version of stage fright where you need someone you love in the audience, in the room with you. And honey, that can't happen.
Nope.
You need to have resilience, tenacity. You need to be able to handle rejection, handle messing up and like improving. And if you truly were the best dancer at your performing arts, because I was like, she goes to a regular high school, she probably is the best dancer, but like the best dancer at your performing arts high school, you would not be able to only perform so well when your mother is there. And not to armchair expert her, but Sarah has OCD. That's what my thesis of all of this is. She has OCD. The idea that she can only perform well when somebody there loves her is there. It's a ritual that she has to do. And then she also thinks if she performs again, someone's going to die. That's also feeling a little like, okay, those are not the actual consequence of the actions of this.
That's also grief, though. Like, that part is grief, not necessarily OCD.
Sure. That's what Moss was explaining it to me further. But I was like, does she think that every time she dances, someone's going to die?
It's just that it's in her head now.
Well, that's that it happened one time and then it was her fault. But when I watched her dance, I said, that's dance. She's moving. She is, in fact, moving.
To music.
So I did look up, because I don't know who searched this, but said, did she do all of her own dancing in the movie? And she said she did, except for some of the close-ups of her feet. I also think she meant the people when it was shot from behind, like when you can't see her face. The close-ups of the feet, and then we cut to her. It was just a wee bit of a shock to me, and I'm not even someone like I grew up dancing, but like I didn't do like ballet for like 15 or 20 years, and but I do align with ballerinas who get like really annoyed when non-ballet dancers do like whether it's like modeling or acting or whatever, because like it's just like not believable in that sense. I will say this one seemed a lot safer. I don't think that girl was ever on a point shoe. I don't think we never got a full body shot of her on a point shoe because she can't get over the box. Like, there's no way.
No. She trained for a couple months with the dancing, and I can see that it was just a couple months. Even when we are in the headshots of it, her arms are not in the right position at all. And I'm someone who I did like study some ballet, like minimally, like probably as much as she has. But even I know that is not how your arms go.
And like the fingers were killing me. The hands were absolutely killing me. I was like, if someone just fixed her hands, this would look it would just automatically like look a lot better. But the one that was like the biggest miss for me, which I'm like, the director should have called that out, was her face. I'm like, you need to dance with your face. I need you to dance with your face just a little bit more. Maybe watch, I guess Maddie Ziegler wasn't alive at this point, but I was like, dance moms. Like, there needs to be some of that like emotion there. But her commitment to it was that made me believe it. And also, like, she nailed the posture. She really had, like, the posture down, and she had, like, I don't know, not to sound weird, she has, like, ballet shoulders. So, like, that's, like, believable in that kind of sense. But the hands absolutely wrecked me. But I looked up, I was like, what? This is such an odd choice for her for this, like, movie, because I was telling Matt, I was like, was she even that famous? Like, I thought this was her first movie, and that this would have been, I was like, you would have think it's like, I don't know, like Fame. Like, it's something where you want someone to be able to dance. You go to a performing arts high school, and, like, it's an MTV movie budget. They're not going after, like, big stars. You're usually getting people who are a little more unknown. And I did look it up, and in fact, she was specifically sought out after her dance scene in 10 Things I Hate About You, and they said, we got to get that girl in the movie. And I was like, her dancing on the table?
But she was a hot commodity at this point.
That's what Moss was saying.
She was the it girl. She was on, like, every TV, like, every interview type show. She was there. She was the it girl.
Yeah, he was saying that there was, like, 7 years where she didn't stop working.
Yes, she had numerous movies that were coming out, like, one after another, after another, after another. So, like, yeah, she was that girl at the time.
Yeah, and I think she's a phenomenal actress. Like, I think she performed very well. I don't even actually want someone who's a better dancer to do this, because, like, I kind of love the fact that this is, like, a very serious, very well done movie, and then there's just, like, some random very, very bad dancing.
Yeah.
But I had another question. What did you think about the father's accent?
I don't even remember his accent, really.
So, I didn't know if that was an accent or if it was just, like, a choice that he was making, and I did write down, he's giving me very much Paul Giamatti meets Steve Buscemi. And
that's another reason why I thought it was, I was like, it feels like New York, but it's not New York. What is this? He is from Illinois, so he would have the right accent.
Okay, so then I guess everybody else was so much farther off that he sounded more far off that I thought he was doing something weirder.
Yeah, Terry Kinney.
But my God, does her dad fucking suck? Like, this whole, like, trope of, like, I get it, like, the believe me, I get it, the clueless father trope, I understand wholeheartedly, but, like, this whole, like, your mom died, sorry about it, kid, like, it's just...
Sorry I had to leave early.
And also...
From the funeral.
This is where Matt paused for the first time. Actually, no, where he paused for the first time was when I started critiquing her dancing, and he got very upset, and I was like, okay. And he was like, he's like, you can suspend disbelief in Mad Money. And I go, yeah, because I have no experience robbing the Federal Reserve. I danced growing, like, I know that this doesn't make sense for this. I'm like, this is the same reason why I'm like, I love Interstellar. I don't know science. Like, that, if it's when it's closer to home. This was when he had a second pause where he started getting more annoyed. My thing is, I don't understand how this works. You go to a performing arts high school. You're dropping out. Like, what level of performing, like, where are you in terms of your schooling? It's supposed to be what, senior year? Presumably senior year, because you're applying to Juilliard.
It is senior year, yeah.
So are your credits fully done and transferring here? Because
that's fine. As someone who moved a lot, like, high school doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but winter of this is like
it's fine.
The end of senior year.
You're pretty much, by the time you're senior year, most of your classes are done anyway.
That's what, and I was like, if only there was internet for her to finish her classes online, she wouldn't have to go to a whole new school. But more importantly, how quickly did you, an individual teenage girl, get all of your mother's affairs in order to be able to move out of a house that who packed it up? Like, were you renting? How long was the lease? Or did you own the house and do all of this kind of stuff? And then your dad couldn't come and stay with you and finish off the year there. And you had to go so fucked up. I'm like, not only, like, did you lose your mom and you're having to move to it, like, you're having to go to a new school. You're having to, like, you're having to move. You're having to, like, part with her things, or, like, where she had 3 suitcases.
Yep. She only had 3 suitcases. And her dad, the fact that he did not stay with her was so fucked up.
So fucked up. I was just like, and I guess they couldn't show all that because they're like, yeah, I don't really know how this teenage girl got all of these things in order and then packed up her 3 things, which, by the way, 3 suitcases isn't even all of her things that she owns, let alone her mother's things. And then like she moves out. Like, what did she have to break the lease?
She didn't even have, because her business was below it, so I don't know if they own the building or what.
Yeah.
Probably not. But, I mean, somebody died, so the lease doesn't really.
Okay.
matter anymore.
Yeah.
But as far as like him not staying and then also not having her room ready when she got there. And he's a musician that plays at nighttime. He had time during the day to do that. His gigs are lasting, 5 hours max?
Well,
He doesn't have another job.
And also, you got to be really good, too. I was like, damn, how cheap was rent back then? But I'm also like, I
mean,
wouldn't...
it's not like they were living in the nicest place either.
No, but I have to say, I wrote it down. It got good bones. It's got beautiful bones in that house. You could really make it nice.
Okay, so when I went to college, I was living, when I moved out into my first place, my rent was like, I was in a 1-bedroom by myself. It was a relatively nice place. It was like $475. Yeah.
I didn't even know that was an option.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes. So, like, if he was making like, and that was years after this. So if he was making like $300, he could pay for his rent.
Holy shit.
And he was just eating Hungry Man TV dinners.
Yeah. And like, I wouldn't have forgiven him. Like, I think regardless, he should have never left and he should have stayed with his daughter. Also because, like, the implication is he also walked out on the fucking family. And I'm like, cool, walking out again. But, like, I would have, like, understood it a little bit more if, like, he left. I still would think it would have been the wrong choice. And then she gets there and he's repainted the inside of the apartment. He, like, set up her whole room. No, you had to leave early to do what?
Right.
None
he
of
had
this?
a gig. That's what he said. And it didn't make sense.
Then come back after your goddamn fucking gig.
Yeah.
But yeah, the no bedroom, it like literally just made me immediately, like from the start, like so sad. And like Julia Stiles has a fantastic sad face. Like it's just
she
heartbreaking.
pouts like no other.
Oh my God. And you're like,
with her whole face.
Literally, her cheeks pout. Like I was like, my heart was like wrenched out of my chest. I was like, this is so painful. And then I was thinking about, I was like, I wonder when Kerry Washington is coming into this movie. And I was like, if this is a little more serious, like, is she giving like Olivia Pope? And then I hear a voice in a wide shot and I go, I hear her, and she is not doing the serious.
No.
She is the Raven Baxter of her high school. She's a fashion diva. And she, with her cute little haircut, and my God, her face is exactly the same. She looks
exactly the same. She's just a little younger.
She doesn't even look that much younger. Like, she looks exactly the same. And I'm like, look at her. She's constantly playing fashionistas in movies and TV shows. She's here for that. But the opening, at first I told myself, I go, is this going to be like Bring It On 2? Is that what Julia Stiles? I was like, because she's not giving Hayden Panettiere vibes. I will say I did notice, because it's a crime, I'm sorry, I can't turn it off, I wish I could. The eclectic mix of extras that they had in the high school, without a doubt, they had real high schoolers there. Yes, and they need to fill it up a little bit more. So we did have some people
older
who were
people
pushing about 30. But I was like, this was such a well thought out, because like extras are the most expensive thing. People are the most expensive thing on a movie. And there was a lot.
There was a lot. And they also filmed this in Baltimore. So it's not like they're like going to central casting.
No, like I was like, without a doubt, this is like, you have the entire high school there.
Yeah, they were like, they went to the high school and said, hey, do y'all want to be in a movie?
Yep. And they were. And then they said, we need some more bodies. And then they stood outside probably with some flyers. And they said, hey, want to make a quick buck?
Anybody under 30, come in.
Yep. And some people lied and they said, I'm under 30. And they went. And I was just like.
And that's typical for high school movies.
But and also like, it's just, it adds so much to the energy of a movie that's supposed to be at a high school where like you have that energy.
Yeah, like people were with their actual friends. You could see that and feel that, the conversations they were having. Like it felt very much realistic to high school.
And it's something I will always give MTV credit for, that like they want to represent teenagers and like have that feel accurate. And so like that to me felt very accurate. The F slur was a little, was jarring. And then I told Mott's from that moment on.
I don't even remember it.
Yes.
My bad.
So Mott's didn't either. And
what
I said,
scene?
When they're in the classroom, someone says it in the classroom in front of the teacher and everyone's like, haha. And I was like, okay. And it was moved on so quickly. And I told Mott's and I was like, because he's like, the movie's very like of its time. But he's like, I don't really remember all of it, but like, just know it's like, of its time. And I was like, okay. And then I told him, I was like, if there's any more of these things, like, give me a heads up. Like, how of its time are we about to get? Like, I didn't necessarily think we were going to get an F-slur in here. So, like, what more of its time? And he didn't tell me that yet, what was coming, or what he told me was coming that had me on edge for the rest of the movie. But I'll get to that when we get to it. But then I see a face on screen in a high school classroom who has existed in a high school classroom for the last 450 years.
Yes.
And I screamed, I said, Bianca Lawson? Bianca Lawson? And
Yes.
Boss was like, who? And I said,
oh my gosh. And this is when she was actually closer to being a teenager.
yes.
She was not one, but she was closer to being a teenager. But she was playing the classic Bianca Lawson character.
Bianca Lawson was in peak Bianca Lawson form.
Mm-hmm.
I was geeked because, and I told Mods, and I was like, by the way, anyone listening to this, if you're like, I don't know Bianca Lawson, yeah, you do. Bianca Lawson has played a high schooler in in everyone's lifetime.
She is Solange and Beyonce's ex-stepsister. She's been playing I think the earliest thing I remember her playing a teenager in is Sister Sister. That might be the earliest.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look at her IMDb.
The most recent time I saw that she was on like a PD show, and I said, playing a cop? High school student Bianca Lawson's playing a cop.
Yeah, this woman is 48 years old.
She's not aging. She is not aging whatsoever.
No, I forgot she was in Saved by the Bell, the new class, when they did the reboot. She was the main character. That was in 1993, and she was playing a teenager.
Like, you guys, I don't think you understand. She played a teenager on Pretty Little Liars. Like, yes. She played a teenager forever. And she's not only ex-stepsister of Beyonce and Solange, she's also a part of the Gordy family, the founders of Motown, which then attaches her to obviously the Carters, attaches her to Marvin Gaye, Diana Ross, the Ross family, the Jackson family, oh my God, there's like 15 more of them, the Cash family, and it also attaches to the Carter family, as in who? Who? Jimmy Carter. That family. And it's just like, it's so cool. And you and I also looked up. So I knew I knew she's from LA and like grew up here.
Of course.
She went to Marymount probably at the same time as Kim Kardashian. Now picture Kim Kardashian playing a high schooler. Huh?
Yeah.
What? Oh my God. I was geeked as soon as I was like, if you put Bianca Lawson in a movie in high school, like I know the journey I'm going on, and I'm like so fucking excited.
Yeah. So we're in the high school. Kerry Washington introduces herself because Sarah I keep calling her Kerry Washington. Chanel introduces herself because Sarah has her backpack down on the ground behind her, which disgusting. And Kerry comes and picks it up and doesn't say anything. And then Sarah turns around and it's like, where's my bag? But then, looking around and Chanel's teaching her a lesson. Like, don't leave your bag on the ground.
Yep. And she then, oh my God, it like broke my heart. But like when she like goes to sit at lunch and it's like, oh, okay, friendly face, her. Like she was nice because she like wanted to introduce herself and she was already gone by the time. And these girls sit down, but like Carrie, sorry, I keep calling her Carrie. Chanel like clocks that and then is like, oh, like, but keeps carrying on with her conversation, but notices that she had wanted to sit, but like doesn't really do anything about it. And then she goes and sits with the nerds, I guess. And they're just like the losers. And then she like comes back up and was like, oh my God, don't ever sit with them again. Like you sit with my friends. Like don't sit with them. They're losers. And it just like almost brought me to like, there's something I love about like people being nice to the new kids. And I don't know if it's also like an aspect of like in TV shows, you usually see like, oh, the new kid getting bullied, the new kid, whatever. But like, because I grew up in like such a small town surrounded by other like tiny, tiny towns, like no one really, it was like so rare for us to get a new kid. And like when a new kid came to our school, the entire school, I'm not kidding, we would be like standing, waiting as they pulled in to be like, hi, we're so, like, it looked like a sorority, like, no, so fucking, you would have hated it, but we were like
I would have hated it, but
excited. And like, so it was so nice to see, because I'm like, oh, that's without a doubt, like how it would have been at my high, like at my middle school, elementary school, high school, like we were just so excited to get a new kid. And it like made me happy to see a new kid getting people being nice to, or Carrie.
Yeah.
When
nice I moved, usually they had like somebody that would be like your
guide for the
buddy.
day.
And they were usually not somebody I would want to be friends with.
No,
But they were
everybody would
so
vie
nice.
for that job. Everyone wanted it so bad.
No, it was, but, it was people that were just, overly nice and not the
Yeah, it was
type of
student
person I
council.
would be. Yeah, I would be. I mean, I was on student council, so it wasn't even that. It was just, people that were just overly nice that I wouldn't have been friends with. They were
Yeah.
great, but just, not my vibe. And then when I would find my vibe, I always felt so bad because,
you're like,
I would kinda hurt that
"Sorry."
person's feeling because I wasn't hanging out with them, but they were great. I was the kind of person that bopped around with
Mhm.
groups, but I had, my core group, and so it was interesting just to see that. Yeah.
It warmed my heart. It made me so
Mhm.
happy. There's a lot of hotties at this high school
Mhm.
to the point where, thank God it's his senior year because I wouldn't have gotten anything done.
Yeah, when I forgot that Q from Moesha, I don't even remember his name, he popped up and I was like, I forgot that he was in this movie. He's playing pretty much the same character that he played on Moesha, which is a dude that's up to no good, but has a heart of gold, but
Mhm.
take care of the people around him, but still bad, really bad, beating women bad. And
Mhm.
so, I totally forgot. Also, he looks so old,
He looks
which
Ew.
I know he is.
No,
What
you
is
know how,
that man's
so
name?
sometimes I was looking at the shaved heads, and I was like, "Okay, that is without a doubt, a young choice. That, without a doubt, is hiding a receding hairline, and you're too old, and we need to shine that up."
Frejo Starr is his name. So in
He looked promptly like 45 years old.
Yeah, he was 30. Sean Patrick Thomas, they initially they didn't want him because he did look too old, but
He looked the youngest out of all of them there.
he looked the youngest out of all of them, but also they were the chemistry's too good. We can't not have him in this movie.
I have goosebumps talking about him. Mats was like, he made the movie. He made me cry 5 times.
He's so fun to look at, and
Oh
I
my
wish he
God.
was he's so talented, and he has steadily been working.
Yeah.
I just feel like he should be a bigger star than he is.
He is, his smile, he's so charming.
Mhm.
It's effortless in the sense that you said, you just want to watch him. He's obviously very handsome, but there's just something magnetic about his smile and his eyes. He twinkles.
Yep.
I obsessed. He was in season 1 of High Potential, and he was great in it. And I was like, he was just so fucking good in this that I fell in love with him instantly. I was like, oh no, I love him. I'm so glad that's who's
Yeah.
gonna be the love interest.
I was volunteering at something, and his wife, she and I hit it off, and she was so cool. And then when we followed each other on Instagram, and then when I saw that she was married to him, I was like, I'm glad I didn't know this before.
No,
I'm glad I didn't know this before.
I would have geeked out. I would have been embarrassing. I wrote down one of my favorite quotes of the whole movie, which is, "They call me Snook, the coochie crook."
Of course you'd love that.
I loved it. And Mats was like, I'd never caught, because he watched it so young. He was like, nope, never caught that joke. Never heard it. And I was obsessed.
Sounds right up his alley.
And I can't stop. Coochie crook. Snook, the coochie crook. And I was like, I wonder if Snooky.
And they're like, your name is Snooky. Can you please stop?
Oh my gosh. Did you do gymnastics at one of your many high schools for PE?
I did it in college.
Okay.
We did do it in high school, as part of certain sections. So yes, I did.
Okay.
If you're talking about in the way that they did this in high school, I didn't do it in high school because I was a cheerleader, so I didn't have to take PE. But in junior high and middle school, there were sections on gymnastics.
Because I was wondering, because I was like, I feel like
even elementary school
a
too.
Regional thing. Because I've seen it in so many movies. I'm like, it has to be a thing that happens. But I love how they're telling Carrie and Bianca that so you're watching something that's really impressive, and they're like, whoa, and she's there pointing her toes. She's there doing a little and they're like, how'd you learn how to do
it is on a balance beam that is hard.
Totally.
It is.
Totally. The jumping part was when I was like, okay, that adds up a little bit more. But I love how we're just like, we're edging the idea of her dancing, but like she's not dancing yet. She's just bouncing on a balance beam.
Mm-hmm.
I think it goes without saying, considering how we opened this episode, was addicted to the wardrobe. I loved the outfit.
So good.
The hairstyles. I loved
Mm-hmm.
all of it. Like, I loved everybody's looks. I loved the guys' looks. I loved the girls' looks. I loved the teachers' looks. Like, there was just something like, it just, everything fit together. It was so of its time. So, like, it doesn't look corny. Like, everyone, it, like, all fits together. And I'm sure they had a lot of people wear their own clothes because it's cheaper. But then when they brought up going to the club, I was like, what is she going to wear to the club? And then I got a little confused.
That
I was
is
like,
actually how I thought you were going to. I thought you were going to have a little.
I was thinking about it.
Bandana on your head. Well, a shirt turned into a little bandana.
No, and
scarf, actually.
That was like, I couldn't handle that. And Mats was like, wait, why? And I was like, because like her hair is so silky straight. Does she have bobby pins? There's no way that's staying in her hair. Like, it's sliding right the fuck off.
There is a way to do it where it stays in your hair.
For straight hair like that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, she's got thick, straight hair. And I was like, I don't know how you're dancing with it. And I assumed there's bobby pins, but I was like, she did it so fast in the back of the car. But then the club came up. And this is when I should have really learned that I couldn't keep making jokes because Mons was like, suspend disbelief. So the club, I was like, do they mean a teen club or do they mean like a regular club that they go to? And then they bring up fake IDs, that she needs a fake ID. Mm-hmm. It cost her $20, which my God, how inflation has changed the cost of fake IDs because they were so expensive when I was in high school. And then needing a fake ID, I then had multiple questions about why an underage child is allowed to DJ at a club that serves alcohol.
Maybe. Yeah, that's true. Maybe he is 8. Maybe he's 18.
You have to be 21.
Huh?
You have to be 21.
But sometimes, like, if you're the DJ, as long as you're not drinking, they're okay with it.
Oh, okay. I guess you'd need, yeah.
Yeah, like, when I was 18, I went to clubs that had drinking. We just had to wear a different wristband.
18 and up. But she needs a fake ID.
Yeah, so she might not be.
20. No, because then they make the comment that being like she's 21, and that's why she needs the fake ID. So I'm like, okay.
But that's also because they were drinking there. Remember, she went to the bar and was ordering drinks. Okay,
maybe that's it. Because also, the biggest plot hole to me was Bianca Lawson, forever the high schooler. She's not getting into the club. That's like asking Kyla Pratt to get into a club. She's too little. She's a child. You can't do that. So I loved the outfit makeover. I knew it was coming as soon as I was like, this girl, she's not going to wear the right thing to the club.
Like, this is from the Gap.
Yeah. And she goes, okay, girl. Okay. And what? Yeah, I can tell it's from the Gap. And then we were to one of my other favorite quotes, which don't you guys don't come for me. I know it's not PC. It's of the time. It was in the movie, but the delivery was impeccable. When she says, she gets her fake ID and says, she's ugly. And she's fat. And Carrie goes, she's 21. I was like, I'm obsessed with this. Like, it was they had phenomenal chemistry too. I would love them to do a show together. I know you're not watching this, but I love the show The Ambassador on Netflix. It's Carrie Russell, and she's playing like an ambassador in the United States to the UK.
Yeah. Yep, I saw a little clip of it.
And it's really great. And I was like, Julia Stiles would like kill it in those kinds of roles. And then we can get Kerry Washington back in like something political. And I would love that. I would love for them to do something together again. The plot holes in the club, I'm also confused about. Like, I'm the bouncer, nowhere to be found until the very end, which I was like, okay, this is feeling, whatever. Someone was also called Tickle Dick, which I did like. I don't know what that meant, but I loved it. I said, Tickle Dick? Yeah, I'm loving this. And then I know that you said this is not a Kerry Washington dance movie, but
she's not dancing anywhere in this film.
I know. And my only issue with that statement that I made was the word dance, because sure, Julia Stiles is in this movie, but this is a Kerry Washington movie. Like,
yes, it is. It's just that Megan texted me because I forgot what we were watching, and Megan texted me, we're watching the Kerry Washington dance movie, and I was just like, hilarious you're calling that because she does not dance in this movie, and I was like, she's not the star, but she is. And you were like,
am I gonna hate this?
And I was like, no.
But like, I was only wrong about the dancing.
Yeah.
Because she was such a fucking star in this that I was like,
She's
of course
the
you blew
emotional
up.
crutch of this film.
Oh, and she's like, her performance is great. Like, I can see Olivia Pope in her performance, which like is impressive for being that young, to then see a performance that you do that's like Emmy Award winning, like as an adult, that I was like, no, you had like, that's in you. Like, that's there. And I did ultimately come away with the fact that this is what I thought all teen clubs were going to be like.
Yes.
And that's what Mott said too. Mott was like, this set my expectations far too high for like the teen clubs.
I remember going to my first teen and only teen club that I ever went to because it was terrible. Me and my friends went. We were the only people that were there. The people that worked there were stoked that we even showed up and were being extra nice. The music was great, but like it was empty as fuck. Like no one went. And I was the one that convinced my friends to go.
No, ours was called the rec dances, and they were so crazy that like most people's parents wouldn't let them go to a rec dance. Like if you were going to a rec dance, you were getting fingered. You were going to a rec dance, you were drinking like a Smirnoff, and like you were fraternizing with like boys who went to like Terra Linda or like, you know,
what is Terra Linda?
A different high school that was like the kids there, they're so different. They're not, but like it would have been. That's where people are like, yeah, I like have a boyfriend at a different school. Like, and you're like, oh my God, they definitely go to a rec dance. And like, you're wearing like tiny, granted, these kids are all rich. They're wearing like Hervé Leger, like little bandage dresses that cost like $4,000. But I'm wearing my like Charlotte Russe little tiny bandage dress. I went to one, or maybe, I think it was one. And yeah, I made out with like 5 random people. That was like what our rec dance, they were crazy, but also small town. So like that was, we had nothing else to do. But Mott's literally was like, I dream of going to Step. He's like, that's like my, like all I want in life. And like, I've never been able to achieve this euphoria. So I was like, okay, great music though. Like
the music, this
so
soundtrack, I believe, hold on, I wrote down exactly how it charted. The soundtrack for this movie was a massive hit. It went multi-platinum. It was number 3 on the Billboard 200. Like, it outpaced a lot of albums and soundtracks of the time. Also, I want to say we need to get back to making actual, like, good soundtracks for movies, too.
I used to buy, that's like, I used to not buy albums from artists unless it was my favorite artist. I would buy soundtracks. I wouldn't buy like, now this is whatever. No. I would buy a soundtrack to a movie. I love movie soundtracks.
Yes.
Mott's, after we finished watching, he was doing the dishes. And what was he on? This album, listening to the soundtrack. And I'm sure that's what he listened to on the car ride home.
Pink, Casey and JoJo, Donnell Jones, Lucy Pearl, Ice Cube. Like, it's so good.
Mm-hmm. And recognize, like, songs that, like, so, like, I missed I don't know, besides you and Mom, like, I don't know anybody who's even seen this movie. Like, maybe kids that I grew up with, like, did, but, like, it was never, there's some movies that, like, I know people talked about that, like, I just hadn't and ever ended up seeing. This was, like, not really one of them, and, like, I realized it is because it came out when we were, like, in elementary school, like, young. So I was 7 or 8, but the fact that, like, I recognized all of this, like, that's the level of, like, caliber of music. They were picking the most incredibly popular songs. It wasn't like Vampire Diaries, which I love Vampire Diaries. Mott's and I are rewatching. I'm showing Mott's right now, and I was like, he's gonna love this, and he is loving it. But that was like a lot of like songs would become popular because they were on that, and that's what happens to TV shows often. But for like movies, music placement is it. That's why movie music tends to be a little bit more dated because you don't have as quick. You have a longer turnaround for that. But I'm like, you are getting these songs all are still popular. Like, I still know all of these fucking songs, so I can't even imagine being, like, of the age watching this while these songs were, like, it's the fucking coolest thing ever. I was like, that must have been epic.
Yes, it was so good. Like, I remember being in gym class, and somebody put, "You can do it, put your back into it," and my teacher was like, "Turn this off." And I was looking around, I was like, how do these people know this song? But then I remembered it was in this movie.
Yep. It's so good.
It was in this movie.
I think he was so nice to teach her how to dance at the club. And she has one thing that I do think Juilliard would find attractive, and that is she has no shame. She has no shame and embarrassment to be taught in the middle of the dance floor the counts of 2 and 4.
What I liked is that you can literally see her counting his steps in her, like she's counting 1, 2, 1 and 2, and I was like, this makes perfect sense for the character. Also, Fatima, who is a world-renowned choreographer, she's from Arkansas too. Shout out. She choreographed this movie, and she also like did like Michael Jackson, like the Remember the Time video, which I think is actually more iconic than Thriller. She worked with like so many artists at the time. She was constantly on MTV. So like the fact that she choreographed this film is also very cool. I think she did Honey too. I'm pretty sure she's in Honey.
Oh wow. After I had told Mats that the dance at the end was like, you know, not like incredibly impressive and would not have gotten her into Juilliard, he did pull up videos of Kerry Washington defending the dance. And I was like, okay, sorry I personally offended you. But like even in her
why did he have that on the ready?
I was like, how do you even know that she's defended this? Like, this is so weird. I think it was because I think I told him to watch it on SNL. And like, for some reason, that clip is like not out there. There's only like a portion of it that's on like Entertainment Tonight or whatever. And it must have come up like suggested on that because I think Kerry was being interviewed for something recently. And because Julia just went on SNL.
As she always is. That woman is always on a red carpet.
She's on a couch all the time. I was like, yes. God, you are so busy. But and also Mats does want me to give credit to, I always say that like her and Fitz or whatever, that he was like, no, she is a real life Olivia Pope. And if the decision is between the heir to, or the familial heir to MGM, he says that her husband, who's like the football player, is like one of the best football, like a fan. He's like, no, that of like, he's not like a random football player. Like he's fantastic. Like that is a difficult choice to make if she has to make the choice, but also like she's got the best of both worlds. And I was like, okay, love that. But Kerry was saying that like it was like the dance was like very of its time, which like that I will 100% agree with. It is of its time in the sense that like, you know, if I think back, because this is pre So You Think You Can Dance, and like of like fusions of two dance styles and like like this is gonna be interesting and cool and different. The dance, even at the time, and that was was never difficult. Like the dance is like not hard and never was hard. And like it can't be because she's not a dancer. Like she can only learn so much. But like I understand in the sense of being like, oh, it was supposed to be like the mixing of the styles what was revolutionary and like what really wasn't seen. But like when you watch it now, that part really doesn't hold up because it's like, well, no, we've seen a lot more since then. But my God, he is incredibly charming. And I will say that while she does not, her shoulders are very ballet, her attitude is like decently ballet, but the trauma that she has around ballet, very ballet. Very ballet. The whole thing of like, we can't talk about this, or like, I don't do this anymore. Everybody who has danced or even knew somebody who danced knows somebody who like talks about their quitting of dance and ballet, regardless of the level, as like a pivotal traumatic moment that brings up like such they cannot talk about it. And it's about like, and Mats was like, well, you know, it's like, you know, the potential and all of it's like all of those kinds of things together. She nailed that. She nailed that of being like, oh, I can't even get close to this thing because I love it so much and I'm not doing it. That like, it's like when people are like, oh, if you can't teach, there are some things where it's like, I love this too much. I have to pretend that if I can't do it the way I want to do it, I have to pretend this thing doesn't exist, like at all. So that trauma part really made sense to me. And I did love how like, he's like, don't worry, I'll teach you how to dance hip hop. And I asked Mats, I was like for what? And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, is there like a partner's competition? Like, what does she need to learn this tail end of her senior year? Like, what is this just to fit in at school?
Just so to fit in. Just to fit in.
And Mats was like, it's just, and I was like, It's to flirt. That's what it's just to flirt.
It's literally just to flirt. He's not even the best dancer.
No!
Snook is also at the end of the movie when Snook came out. I was like, where was this?
I thought it wasn't even him at first. And I said, all that dancing, you can dance. Yeah. You can. Wow, she can really move.
Dance.
I was like,
yeah, it was just because he was flirting. He was challenged by her on a educational mental level, and so he was like, okay, this is, like some people are like, I want you to teach me something, and so that was just the moment of him teaching. But it also got her out of her shell of wanting to dance again, because it wasn't the ballet, it was hip-hop dancing.
Yep. This is where I wrote, this movie's actually really good.
Yeah.
Like, this movie is, like, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really, really good. Then we get to he takes her to the ballet. And I wrote down, I can't believe I'm literally crying. He moved.
Can we talk about the scene before we get there? When they're on the bus going to the ballet and that white woman is staring them down. I'm like, this Chicago in the 2000s, was it really
there's also
that serious?
Other Black people on the bus?
Yes.
And I was like, this feels like a very... And I was so worried because of, like, it sounds stupid to anybody who, like, does not pick up on this. I was worried because of the coloring of this movie that there was something really bad was going to happen. It's very blue. It's very gray and blue. And that's usually, like, it's cold. It's shot at winter. I was, like, worried that, and it's also not lightening like, warming up as it's going on. So I'm, like, worried that something's going to happen.
Well, it did have a darker ending to it. And then when they were showing it in the test viewing, they changed the ending. So it was shot in that way because it was supposed to have a darker ending. I think, we can talk about that later, but it was the shooting. I think he was supposed to die.
Yeah. That makes more sense to me because in general, like when movies have this like cold, like cool tones to it, as things get better, they warm up. It doesn't like completely shift, but like you start to see a little bit of that change. And so when you see a shot that's like, it's like in a horror movie where it's like one person's on a side and you have a lot of blank space, something's happening in that space, it's going to happen. So like on the bus, I was like, I'm so worried that like this woman's going to like have a gun, like something bad's going to happen. So I was like, don't. And I was like so worried. And I was like, telling Mats, I was like, so they're dating now? And he's like, I don't even think they're officially dating. I was like, he's just licking her neck in front of this white, and they're just giggling.
They're just doing it to piss that woman off.
And then she moved, but I was so worried. And then that is when Mats brought up, oh, if I'm supposed to warn you about things, I think her dad does something racist. And I said, oh God. And then I spent the rest of the movie being so worried about what her dad was going to do, only for the movie to end. And Mats go, I've just misremembered.
There were two things that I misremembered. I thought the dad was going to do something racist, but no, it wasn't that it was racist. It was because she was caught being out on a school night, and it had nothing to do with his race.
No,
I was like, also he's a jazz musician, so he's got to be with Black people. Like he's playing with Black people. So he lives in a Black neighborhood. Like he's not. Yeah.
I thought he must be so racist if he's a jazz musician in Chicago living in a Black neighborhood that I was like, oh my God, he must be so racist and dangerous. I was terrified. Anytime she was at home, I said, oh, get him out of here. Get him out of here. I was worried that he was going to get caught when they were I was worried about everything. And no, it turns out he's not.
Everything that Bianca Lawson was doing, I also misremembered that those were Kerry Washington's lines too.
So did
I was like, wait, they're they're best friends pretty much. Like, what am I doing?
I was saying how much I loved Kerry Washington. Mons is like, well, don't love her too much yet. And I go, what? And he was like, yeah, best friend, enemy. And then I was like, hold up. And then he goes, sorry, thought that she did a lot of stuff the other girl did. So he had the exact same memory as you. I do wonder if there was like an edited for TV version that like maybe
I saw this in movie theaters and had the DVD. So it wasn't even that was just this was in movie theaters.
I would have loved to see that on the big screen.
Yeah. A lot of the earlier MTV movies were in movie theaters.
Yeah, Mats, what does he say? Coach Carter was one that he mentioned. He mentioned a couple of them. But you and Mats both had the same mistaken memory of those two instances that I was waiting for the other shoe to drop the whole time. So fucking nervous. Didn't have to be.
Yeah.
Didn't have to be. I love him in this. He's
just a good guy. Like,
he's
he's calm and understanding. He is just there for her. Like, he's just a good guy.
like the scene where he's trying to get her to talk about her mom. And like, I was like, oh, he doesn't know that she's dead. And then I was like, no, he does know. And he's like, you should still talk. And like that, I was like, this is like, and it still felt like it was coming from a teenager. Like, it wasn't like too mature of writing. Like, the character was developed enough that I was like, wow, like you're really like, there's a lot of like nuance in this here. And like, we find out that it's like, yeah, they didn't grow up in a traditional family setting either, but it's like, hey girl, like you're not the only one with trauma, but like we've gone, like talk about it. Like I want to hear about your mom.
And I'm like, he's going to make the perfect pediatrician.
When he said that, I said, panty dropped. But panties dropped. You tell me, this absolute hottie tells me that he wants to be a pediatrician after we've already been academically flirting in school. I'm like, I'm there. I'm fucking there for it. I was so nervous that when they were hooking up, I kept saying, Bianca Lawson is pissed. And then when they were hooking up, I was so worried the dad was going to come in. But I was like, if that happens, then maybe he'll fix her door. And like, it will come to like there will be a benefit at the end. I cried when they broke up. That like broke my heart. I cried in Kerry Washington's speech.
Her storyline is sad. But yeah, what she was, and the thing is she's like, you need to be more aware of what you're doing. Like, you are in an interracial relationship. Like, you still need to be aware that, you know, you're the new student that came in, a white girl, even though like Carrie's other friend is also a white girl, but like, you are an outsider. You need to be aware of how this looks. You can't just be here like and think that everything is going to be like perfectly fine. Like, everything's going to just be smooth sailing. Like, you cannot just be like, I don't see color. Like, color is there.
Yeah. And like, you have to detach from this idea of you're a new girl at a school trying to assimilate, of being like, you're the only white girl at this school. There's not a level of assimilation.
The other girl is white.
But the only you're like a brand new white girl at this school. You don't know anybody. You're not going to assimilate in that. Like, you can't. It's not like your typical like just I'm just
the other
moving.
Girl grew up there.
Yeah, like
she knows what's up.
Or even like when she like talks to her friend on the phone, her friend is very clearly racist, and it's like all that stuff. I'm like, you can't just be like, oh, okay, moving on. Like, there has to be
say what you have to call out what racism is, and she's not doing it.
No, and like the same thing, like, and we get the beginnings of that in like the opening scene when she's like in class and stuff, where it's just kind of like, well, no, like it's this defensive aspect. I'm like, this is not because you're the new girl. Like, you are
and
I
thought
white.
That was a great way to introduce her into the world. It was very nuanced.
So smart, and like also this like stubbornness of like, you know, wanting to fit in and wanting to act like you don't want to act like you're new. You want to act like you've been here forever, but you haven't. And there's like a cultural aspect of that like you are not understanding, or even being like, you know, I like him just because of like who he is. And I'm like, okay, you can't separate the fact that he is a black man and you are in he's a teenager, but like, or that you are in a black neighborhood. You are participating in you're doing all of this kind of stuff. This isn't like, you can't just be like, oh, this is in her, the way I think she would have been like, no, that like, oh no, she did say this verbatim. It's just normal. It's just normal. I'm like, for sure. But like, it's not like non-existent. It's not like if you like, oh, I'm not seeing, it very much gave I don't see color without saying it, which I thought like, and I thought the way that Carrie delivered it, I was like, yeah, it makes perfect sense. And like how Sarah's character, like, she just looked so uncomfortable and didn't know what to say and just left. I was like, that feels very apt for how she would have responded to it. I think, and maybe I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that the man who played Kerry Washington's baby daddy is in fact related to that baby. They have the same face. That baby.
I did not even.
And every time he's on camera, the baby's just looking over at him. I go, that's your dad. Like, that without a doubt is your dad. Like, they have the exact same eyes. I was like, that's that is that baby. That is your baby. But him showing up at the park and then being like, maybe these two crazy kids can work it out. I was like, oh,
No.
of course, high school students. Now we get to the drive-by or the retaliation drive-by.
Mm-hmm.
How did the car blow up?
You know what? At that point, I was like, I remember the rest of this movie, so I'm going to start putting away some things in my living room out of boxes. I don't know. Maybe it was a very old car that had a bad engine, and then when they were shooting it, it caught on fire. But I think that was supposed to be, I think they might have done something to cover up the edit for when he would have died.
Okay. Because by the way,
from when they reshot it.
It felt like I've never actually seen a car explode after getting shot if there's not explosives in the car. So I was like, whoa, kind of crazy.
There's gas. Cars do, like, if you get into a bad wreck, a car will blow up because leaking, it's hot, like, things can happen.
I guess if it's enough bullets, it's getting hot there. Because for me, I'm like, it's not on impact, like, I feel like you would have to hit a certain specific thing. But I guess if it's a really low riding car, then you've got everything kind of out and exposed. But then I was like, oh my God, they're all dead. And then they came out all alive. And I was
think they were all dead. Yeah. They were all dead. And then they shot that one scene of, I'm just going to call him Q, because that was his name on Moesha. I think Q, they shot that scene of him getting arrested as a way to fix it.
Yeah, because I was like, whoa, didn't know this could happen. This is huge. They're all dying. And then I go, they're actually not dying. So I actually don't think we even needed the car to blow up. Like, if that wasn't it was too quick. It was too quick. So I was a little shocked about that. But we get to her Juilliard audition. And by the way, this girl has learned nothing. She still needs someone she loves there. And apparently,
where was her dad?
Wait, Mats said he was there.
In the audience?
Because I asked that too, and Mats was like, no, he's there. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I feel like she said, I need someone there who loves me. And he said, I love you. And I cried.
Yeah, and he said, I was going to be there. He drove her to New York.
Yeah, I guess he was
or wherever the audition was.
You were folding laundry. I was writing my notes. I think we went,
it wasn't New York because Sean Patrick Thomas he just went to her house and then went. So they must have had.
He was in Chicago 1 month away from when she decided she was going to audition again.
So he had to have been there. Why was she so nervous then? That just tells me she's not going to be good.
She's not ready for Juilliard. No. All I'm hearing is she's not good under pressure. And then she's messing up again. They let her go again, which I was like, are these the same people?
It was, and I feel like somebody told them, hey, her mom died at her last audition. Like, that was part of her story.
Oh, to be fair, I was allowed to restart a monologue because I cried like a little too hard because I had, it was for my DePaul, I think it was DePaul audition. Or maybe I couldn't even get through it or whatever, but like my college counselor had died like that day that I had the audition. And I was like, she was the only reason I was going to be graduate. Like, she like had helped so much. And I was just like, and the monologue somehow like ended up being something similar to whatever. And I was just like overwhelmed. And I was like, sorry. And I don't even think I told them. But then I got waitlisted or deferred. Is that whatever one's better?
No, deferred is what you do if you decide, like, I'm going to wait a year. So you got waitlisted, right? Deferment is when you're like, hey, like you got in and you're like, hey, can I not come this year? But I'll defer it to next year.
Okay, no, so I got waitlisted, and then it was, I don't think I accepted this one, but the Chapman was the one where I would have to wait a year to show that I took chemistry, and then they would let me in. But I lied about it. And you know who helped me lie about it? That college counselor who had just died. So I was like, it's hitting home. So I'm like, she's not ready for Juilliard, like quite literally at all. Even when she was like talking about, I need to train. I'm like, you need to get back into. You're not even on point. You're not even in the center.
She's not even good enough to be auditioning, to be honest.
No!
But we have to suspend our disbelief.
Yep. The part where I was okay suspending disbelief. I was okay suspending disbelief until she wore leather pants to her dance audition. And I said, I actually cannot suspend disbelief any longer. That is objectively crazy. The dance, her starting it, and then, I'm sorry, her boyfriend not only going into the room where she's performing, running up on stage and saying, hold up a minute, I just gotta give her a pep talk. And then them going, are you okay? Are you ready?
That's why in my head, I'm like, they told her They told them that she's back because her mother died the day of her audition. So that's how I read it.
Okay, I
I
hope.
could have been reading too much into it. I'm trying to give them the
No,
benefit
I
of the
like
doubt.
that.
A movie is supposed to show, not tell. And this is just me making assumptions because we're showing a lot. And that's just what I'm gonna go on.
Also, we
But
never touched on the fact that her mother was hit by a car at the exact second that she fell during her dance in the initial time.
mhm.
Thank God
They're
she doesn't
that
know that.
connected. They're that connected. But him running up on the stage, not just running, but then being in the wings. And this is the classic scene of like her dancing, but then he's got his jacket on his little finger bopping up and down while she's doing the
And I'm like,
dance.
you're attracted to her while she's doing, like, I was like, this is the hard work, and you're like, yeah, that's my girl.
Mhm.
I would be like, who taught her that? Not me. Like, the fact that she brought the chair, the fact that
Yeah.
she's doing her little, I was like, I'm done. Like, the fact that her hands are like this, so like, her wrists are cocked. I'm like, I can't. I like truly can't do this. The fact that she's in fucking soft ballet, I was like, this is, if you're gonna do like a mix, at least get on point. Like at least, because you're not really showing me anything major in ballet whatsoever.
But I'm just like, why not just change the type of dance that she's doing?
But what Irish step dance?
What about just like, I don't know, something that's not ballet?
Or honestly, you could get away with like some really, and I don't mean this as an knock to it. It's just there's a much wider range of what people know as good and bad.
Lyrical, like
I would say jazz. I would say jazz because it can be musical theater. Like
yeah, and then her and her dad can connect.
Or she can do like Fosse, which is hard without a doubt. But like,
yes,
I think
she could have sold
her.
Fosse better.
Yes,
her hands, her arms,
her hands would have been so much better off.
Which I think Fosse is like big of what Fatima does, but I think they wanted the juxtaposition of the classically trained ballet dancer and hip hop.
Yeah, I just think if you really wanted that, maybe we should come for someone who's understanding. But the dance was so long. That was a really, really long dance.
Mm-hmm.
And it was silent. We weren't doing it to music. We were...
Isn't Live Your Dreams playing?
Kind of.
The Pink song is playing.
But not in a way that she's dancing to the beat. She's clearly not... Like, it's not...
She is... I feel like what she was dancing to, it started off as Pink and then it faded and then Live Your Dream started playing. So as she's going, initially it's the Pink song and then it changes because it's supposed to feel more montagey, but it's so that they can cut around her and the other woman dancing. So it's not as obvious, but it's very obvious.
Yeah.
If you know what you're looking at.
And she just completely falls out of time because they then decide to do a montage, which I'm like, that does not do this any help. Like, you need the music for some of it to, like, make a little... Like, in general, like, contemporary or, like, modern... like, things that are, like, a little bit more, like, off-kilter or, like, unique or different, you need the music to, like, tell the story, to, like, make sometimes the moves, like, look kind of fucking silly. Like, Olivia Rodrigo's tour dancers were getting shit because everyone's like, what the fuck is this dance? Because people are playing it muted. And it's like, when you listen to it with the music, like, it's fun. Like, it adds, like, an energy to it. It doesn't just feel like random movements. And this, when they get to the montage, I said, oh no, oh no, oh no.
But this is a style that carries on throughout the 2000s. This becomes the norm. This man that wrote this film, let me list off all the other movies that he wrote because he had a moment. He had a moment. And there are movies that we have talked about. Step Up.
I love.
There's also a Save the Last Dance 2 that we'll get up into. Step Up 2, Step Up 3D, Step Up Revolution, Make Your Move, Step Up All In, and Heartbeats. So this man knows what he's doing, okay?
I fully believe him. I can't stress how shocked I was how long this dance was. Like, it was so long that I was like, you spent 2 months learning this.
People in the theaters were crying at this moment.
What?
This was
Maybe
a
Mats was one of
very
them.
emotional part. I'm sure he was. He probably took a girl.
Yep.
And this was very emotional. People like this, I know, like, looking at it from today's lens, it's very corny, but it was people really thought she was doing something.
Hey, and you know what? Some people still think so, including Mats, who said this dance is very difficult. And you know what?
Mhm.
I should write a fan letter and be like, this is how well you sold this to this man. The pinnacle of dance is this dance sequence. Can we talk about, though, the craziest part is Welcome to Juilliard is crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Off
After
record.
that, off record, what you just did there, your ass
Again,
is in Juilliard.
this is me show not tell. They're like, okay, her mother died at her last audition.
Pity offer, a pity acceptance.
Yes.
Imagine showing up and you just literally have, like, oh my God, what's her name? Who just, why am I saying Melanie Linsky? That's not who it is.
What are you talking about?
The ballerina who just retired.
Misty Copeland.
Yes. I was like, ma. And, like, she's in class with, like, fucking, like, Misty Copeland and, truthfully, Tate McRae. Like, people who are classically trained. I did look up the Juilliard eligibility requirements for their dance program.
Mm-hmm.
And they might have changed, but you must possess a high school diploma. Oh, wait. Yeah. Have a minimum of 3 years in prior dance training in ballet and modern or contemporary dance. So you have to do that in ballet as well as modern and contemporary. Currently be training for a minimum of 10 hours per week. She's not doing that. You have to have a serious commitment to dance training and career in dance performance, talent and potential as a performer, including a vivid imagination, courage, which is one she had, and emotional accessibility. Well, she does keep growing. An articulate body promising significant development in dance, demonstrated musicality, a willingness to reevaluate technique and explore new approaches to training. She nailed that one. A high level and quality of training, the ability to work as a part of an ensemble, being flexible with the artistic process, choreographers, directors, and rehearsal assistants. And it is for ballet, modern, and contemporary techniques altogether. But, also, if you apply to this program and you're denied admission, you may apply again. After 2 unsuccessful attempts, you are no longer eligible to apply. So this was her last chance.
Yeah. Okay, so I also want to put this into the world. The year before, Center Stage came out. Did you see Center Stage?
No, it's another one I missed.
Center Stage is also a ballet movie.
Zoe Saldana.
Yes, that was her first credit. I don't know if it was her very first credit, but, like, that's the first thing I remember seeing her in ever. It took place at the American Ballet Academy, and that movie is bitchy. Like, that is the attitude that I expect when I see ballet and ballerinas, and the dancing is better because they did have actual, like, ballet dancers in it. But, like, I feel like this was MTV's response to that film.
That makes sense. I mean, Zoe Saldana trained for, like, I think over a decade in ballet. Like, she's got the chops for that. But this makes sense. It's like how Vampire Diaries was a response to Twilight. And we've got all of those different things that come out that are references to other stuff. But
yeah. And it also, like, it was big in, like, it was a smaller film, but it was, like, big in the box office, so they really, like, went all out. But, like, that is a film that I never want to see again.
Oh, because they were just
I feel like I saw it a lot as a kid, but, like, now there's just it's dark. But that's also where it wasn't where I first learned it. Mandy Moore had a song in that movie too that was really good.
Oh, I love a Mandy Moore soundtrack moment. as far as I know, like, Center Stage is one that I'm surprised I haven't seen. That's one I know that, like, dancers, like, that's one of the ones that people actually think is like an accurate portrayal and like an accurate depiction of like actual like dancers and people with dance experience and background. Which I think like has set the caliber for that. But I don't know that I've ever seen it. In general, ballet movies do tend to be dark because like professional ballet is like pretty dark.
Yeah, it is. Like, there's eating disorders and like sexual assault and like shit like that.
Like
Before,
Black
I mean,
Swan, you know.
yeah, but like it's just darker.
Yeah, it's a very high-strung, high-stress environment that, like, you do a massive disservice to, like, it's supposed to look effortless because the work they put in is so hard and, like, it's, like, not sustainably hard. Like, it, like, fucks you up mentally.
Yep.
So I can see this being she carried that, like, stoicism of it with her, but, yeah, I loved this movie. I would rank this movie 5 pirouettes and maybe 10,000 $20 fake IDs.
Before I give my ranking, I just want to talk about the sequel to this film where nobody from the original film is in it.
Not.
But they are portraying, I think her and Derek have broken up. And now we've got Sarah, but it's not Julia Stiles.
Oh, they Halloween Towned it? They just put a different girl with the same name?
Oh, no, it's
God.
her. It's literally...
Oh, it's Julia Stiles.
No, I'm saying, like, it's the character that Julia Stiles is playing, but
they did that
a
in
new
Halloween
actress is playing. Yes.
They swapped the short
but also, I know.
Yeah, they Sarah Paxton.
Yeah, but her and Derek, I believe, have broken up. And now we have Columbus Short playing the love interest, who was in Scandal too. This franchise is a entryway to Shondaland for Scandal.
Oh, wow. That's a really good point.
So, yeah. So I guess Derek went to college. She went to Juilliard, and because they weren't. Where did he get into school at? Georgetown.
Yeah. By the way,
yeah.
Where is George? Like, is the implication that they're in the same? They're close by and they could keep dating?
Georgetown is in DC.
Yeah.
So I mean, they were closest, but Juilliard is. I think it's in New York, isn't it?
Yeah, but what part?
Yeah.
City?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They could date.
But they didn't. They didn't keep up with it. He's studying to be like, they're in college.
Well, she's also she's gonna flunk out of Juilliard because she can't dance.
Well, the sequel says that she's still in Juilliard. And they also, the actress that they got also is a better dancer, so.
Well, I would hope if you're at least going to recast Julia Stiles, you at least get someone who's got a little more movement.
A straight to DVD film.
You know, I love those.
But yeah, there was a sequel. I will give this film 50 out of 20 live your dreams and little hops.
She loved a little bounce. I was like, this is elementary school ballet. Bunny bounce.
But you had
like
to point first.
Bounce like a bunny.
Point and then hop.
Yeah, that's like what a recital is for like 4-year-olds. Like I was like, I did this and I wore a can outfit. Actually, I was already more advanced in my can outfit. Wow.
So yeah, good movie. Next week.
So you have teased that the reason why I picked this week is because you're like, I want to do back-to-backs. I have 2 that I want to do Thanksgiving related or Thanksgiving anticipation. And so I have been waiting eagerly for what this is. And
yeah. So
you have new thoughts?
I have new thoughts because there's something that's out that's a TV show. You mentioned The Star during this that we would hate so much.
I'm not watching it. I'm not fucking watching it. There's no shot I'm watching it. I don't even know what it's about, and I'm not watching it.
Lawyers. It's about lawyers, you know.
Yeah, but you know who made it? You know who made it? What are those lawyers doing? Are they doing a human centipede? Like they're doing something crazy.
A human centipede?
No, I'm just saying that like he always throws in something that you're like, this is so like in Dr. Odyssey, where it was like, there was a wedding supposed to be on board, and it was like, oh gosh, and then the groom like kills himself, and then they like clean up the dead bodies, and then the wedding
I
doesn't
don't think
happen, and
Niecy
then
Nash would be in that. Niecy Nash, the ones that she's in are more comedic.
yeah, scrum-quans.
One clip that I saw, she told Kim to hold on to her wig. So
And she meant that.
and she meant it. So either that, where we spend it making fun of the whole thing, dying over just the pilot episode. All is Fair is the name of this new Ryan Murphy.
What if we love it?
And that is a thing that I feel like that might happen.
Yeah.
And that is why I want to do it.
That's the risk of Ryan Murphy.
That is the risk of because this, I believe it has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, I'm sorry. You should have started with that. We're watching it.
It has no positive reviews at all. Everybody's talking shit about this TV show.
I'm in. 0%. I am in.
People are saying it's so bad.
Okay. Is this one Travis Kelce's in?
No.
Okay. What happened
I think
to
that one already came and left.
That's what happens when you double dip. He has so many requirements. He has to make so many movies.
Kelsey, Ryan Murphy. That was
all I know is with Niecy Nash.
Grotesqueria or whatever that is.
Yikes.
Grotesquerie. That one was the one that came out like the same week as the Medinez brothers. He has so many projects that come out every day. New one every day.
Okay, we'll watch it.
Okay.
Sarah Paulson, I watched an interview of like her and Kim Kardashian, and they were asking Kim if she likes a jacket potato, which like, but
baked
the woman has a thick British accent, and like Sarah Paulson's like quite literally, and I don't think Kim knows. She's translating this British woman who's speaking English to Kim. I was dying. Yeah. Sarah Paulson seems to like her.
Everyone seems to like her.
I've heard that she's very easy to work with, like, so professionally. Like, I've never heard anything bad from, like, crew members or anyone who's, like, worked with her in that kind of sense, because she, like, is very, she wants to be famous. Like, she's very, like, minds her P's and Q's. Like, she's very about that.
And, I used to be best friends with Chloe, and Kim and I were also close.
I forgot about that. Was my favorite fucking thing in the world. Wow.
I still have the feeling. Like, it's odd. Like, that feeling is, like, in my gut that we were friends. And it was, like, in dream sequences, we were best friends. I would go to sleep, and I would be hanging out with them all the time.
And so then when you see them, you go, my close friend, Khloe Kardashian. So, yeah, there's a level of, like, we can critique, but Coco, sometimes, like, the friendship comes first. That is
and
so
I just want to be clear, I do not stand by that family.
No, Melissa just had a reoccurring dream.
I had a reoccurring dream that me and Chloe
you didn't even realize it was happening. You just thought you were friends.
Yeah, like, we were best friends. And, like, I was also close with Kim, too. But, like, Chloe was my best friend.
And Malika and Khadijah were also there, but you were ranked higher than them.
Yep.
Oh my God, it was my favorite podcast moments is when you had that realization. And it was like, you unpacked it all.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Yeah, so, next week we're going to watch All Is Fair.
Just the first episode, right?
Just the first episode. First episode.
Hopefully, Mats is going to love he loves bad TV. So do I.
Like, there has not been one positive thing said about this.
Remind me what it's called again? You just told me.
All Is Fair.
All Is Fair. That's not a great name.
Well, it's because it's law.
Totally. It's just, it's a little too generic that I'm not going to remember. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a little too much. Or it's just, remember it.
It's All's Fair. Sorry.
That's even harder. You made it easier.
I mean, it has an all-star cast.
It has 0% Rotten Tomatoes. I'm obsessed with it. Tiana Taylor? Why is Elizabeth Brinkley in this?
Berkeley. I don't know.
Is she still acting?
I mean, she was on the Saved by the Bell reboot.
Oh, no, she is acting.
They just had the, anniversary of Showgirls, so she's been popping up a lot of places,
Oh my God, Jessica Simpson's in an episode.
Megan, we have to watch this
Oh my God.
just to talk about it.
Do you think he'd still cast me if I talk shit? I kind of think he would.
I think so too. But I
Okay.
just have a feeling that we might like this.
I think we might love it. You know, as soon as you tell me that something has 0%, I'm like,
Mhm.
well, I'm going to root for the underdog. And the underdog is that
Yes.
big old 0.
So,
Kim and Chris produced it.
she signed on pretty early.
And Glenn Close and Naomi Watts and Sarah Paulson and Niecy. Okay, so these are just, we're just saying words. We're just saying names. Okay. So she's starring in this.
She's center in most of the pictures.
Oh my God. All is Fair, really the worst TV drama ever?
Yes.
Oh, we're going to love this. What was the one you were thinking about?
I was thinking, because I know you haven't seen it, Addams Family.
Oh.
The second one, though, because it takes place during Thanksgiving.
Oh, well, we have one for next year then.
Yeah. All right. Well, buckle up, everybody. Next week is going to be a doozy.
I'm nervous, and that's how I like it.
I'm nervous and excited, and this is going to be an interesting week.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, goodbye.
Bye.
This is a Sister Sign production hosted by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Post-production by Coco Lorenz.
Production assistance by Melanie D. Watson.
And music by Ryan Hunter and Giacomo Picasso.
This podcast is dedicated to my younger self because she really needed it. She couldn't keep a man or a job. Welcome to Broco Therapy. I'm your host, Stephanie Macon.
I'm your co-host, Rose McAleese.
Every week we dive into dating, sex, and relationships.
Who doesn't want best friend kind of deep conversations?
It's about creating a safe space and just having a good time while listening and also crying a little bit.
I think there's nothing better than listening to a podcast and crying.
Yes.
That's how all podcasts should be, is you crying silently to yourself.
And that's on therapy. And I just want to say that we are not professionals, but we bring professionals on the pod to therapize us, to give us some advice. Listen to Broco Therapy wherever you love to listen to podcasts, and head to brocotherapy.com for all the info and the links. Therapy is too expensive, but this podcast isn't. Therapy.
Goodbye, Kyle.
Did the sound of those words call to you like Pavlov's dog? Then you might enjoy our podcast, Turtle Time.
Every week, you can join me, Riley Hamilton, and my co-host, Amy Scarlatta, as we cover the most pressing Bravo news and dig into the new episodes to answer important questions like, who the hell is Adrian Malouf in this world?
Listen to Turtle Time on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Wednesday and Friday.
From the parents behind Law & Order comes a mystery the whole family can enjoy. Patrick Picklebottom Everyday Mysteries. Step into the whimsical world of Patrick Picklebottom, a precocious 11-year-old with a love for reading and an uncanny ability to solve mysteries. Inspired by the beloved children's book of the same name, this podcast vividly brings Patrick's tales of deduction and everyday adventures to life as he unravels baffling enigmas and solves clever cases. Patrick Picklebottom Everyday Mysteries is perfect for kids and is just as entertaining for grown-ups who love a good mystery. The whole family can listen now, wherever you get your podcasts.